Well, I'm enjoying going through and looking at your comments on speech anxiety. And I'm sorry I'm not responding to each one of them. As you can tell, this is a really large class, which is terrific, of course. But I wanted to talk a little bit myself about speech anxiety and give you my own impressions, all right? And I also wanted to take this opportunity to record a YouTube video and just, give you this, show you what's going on, okay, with YouTube. So basically, curing anxiety is what this class is all about, right? And so one of the things we're going to be talking about the whole course is about being prepared. We're going to talk about making outlines. I really do not recommend writing out your speech. Okay, I really like working from an outline. It creates a more conversational nature. And I have an outline right here for what I'm doing right now. One of the units is what I call a speech aid. It's a PowerPoint presentation. And boy, does that help. If you can have something in the background while you're giving a talk, giving a speech, something to train the audience's eyes on the background instead of on you, it's really terrific. Plus, that acts as your outline. Don't forget, PowerPoint's an outline tool. And I'll talk more about that throughout the course, okay, particularly when we get to that unit. And then also, last but not least, practice, And I've had a lot of practice at this now, so I'm not real nervous in front of a group. Maybe a really large group might make me nervous because I've not practiced a lot in front of that. But this class is not really about speaking in front of large groups, okay? I'm not, even though we look at some Martin Luther King speeches, that kind of thing, I'm not talking about that kind of a speech in this class. More so, I'm trying to get you familiar and comfortable with small group discussions, okay? Things like where if you're in the military, you might get up in front of your platoon or possibly your company, right, and give an after-action report or a pre-action strategy, tactical assessment, that kind of a thing, okay? And then, so practice, doing it, by practice, I mean doing it more often, okay? The more you do it, the easier it becomes. It reduces your anxiety, all right? So bottom line, be prepared, have a good outline, have a speech aid, and practice it. Nothing wrong with practicing it. And that's what we're doing with peer review. I'll talk more about this next week, okay? But we're going to peer review all our speeches, and that causes you to revise your speech and record it again. And I think I just sent out an announcement, even if you don't get reviews in time of your own, although I've tried to set it up that way that you will, all right? But if you don't, that's fine because you've looked at the other speeches, all right? You say, okay, here's what they're doing, and then also you think it through, and then you re-record your own speech. So you get to do that speech twice. That's practice, okay? Practice. So let me give you 2 quick examples of my own experience, my bad experience, all right? I remember one time I was really anxious, or I desired to make a speech at our local North Manchester at the time Chamber of Commerce annual meeting because there's an important project I was a part of, and I want to report on its progress, okay? So I wrote the whole stupid thing out. Man, it was reams of paper, all right? I taped them all together. And that was a terrible thing to do. I was so nervous. I was practically shaking when I read it, and I read it in a real stilted voice. I spent all that time writing it and not actually practicing speaking it, okay? And I would have been much better off if I'd worked from a note card, right, and had it in a conversational tone. And that's what I'm trying to get to accomplish here. Then, although I teach exclusively online for Trine University, I spent a lot of time early on teaching face-to-face for IPFW. I taught face-to-face at Manchester College. I taught face-to-face at mine's going by Ivy Tech in Marion and in Wabash. And then I taught at for IPFW at the Warsaw Center face-to-face. And then I taught on the main campus at IPFW face-to-face. And when I first started the course, you are nervous. But once I learned to be prepared. Once I learned, I put my notes, my outline always on the whiteboard in front of the class. And then the more I did it, the more I got comfortable doing it, okay? And I'm very comfortable teaching face-to-face now. And in fact, I'm about to embark to Malaysia, where I'll be teaching face-to-face for Trine University at their campus in Malacca, Malaysia, which is near Kuala Lumpur. And at the same time, I'm teaching this class, okay? So maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that. But I'm really looking forward to that. I'm very comfortable with that, okay? So, hey, I've kind of rambled on enough. But the bottom line is you get over speech anxiety by being prepared, by having good notes, by having a speech aid if there's a way to do that, and, of course, by practice. Just the more you do it, the easier it gets. So, hey, hope this was helpful to you.